lush green fields of the Philippines, rolling through tropical village scenes. New friends made along the way, sharing stories at the break of day.
Hello and welcome to Arizona Trails Philippine Tales. My name is Steve and welcome to week number 93 of the Philippine House Build. But before we get into that, have you noticed that your money just doesn't buy the same goods and services that it used to? Are you noticing that communist Muslims are taking over political positions? Did you notice that maybe people are starting to call you fascist or homophobe? Well, if you're too old to care or do anything about it, then it is time to retire. Go anywhere, somewhere. Doesn't necessarily have to be the Philippines, but go to a place that does treat both you and your money well. Here is Tinfoil Hat to Retirement.
Put on your tinfoil hat, it's time to dance. The hero you back now wants your last chance. Looting the spoils of America's dream. Use the married woman, it's part of the scheme. Banning ICE, but the heat's still on. The left are brainwashed, the nuance is gone. Getting into politics, selling your soul. Let the government manage your money, that's the goal. When religion becomes a government prey, when ideology spreads, truth fades away. Taiwan and China, what's next to burn? Dearborn and New York are lost, no return. When people get free stuff, they forget the cost. Pritzker licks boots, democracy lost. When the lion awakens, the circus shakes, responding to aggression. But it's all fake, it is all planned. Peace is a ghost, irascible peace, but they'll still toast. Taking over businesses, schools go woke. Somalia's better than the US, no joke. Only 7% in crypto, still blind CG bosses warring. Truth redefined. Digital assets, spot prime. Under the knife, hail Somalia, the new model line. Democrats vote to keep it closed again. Quantitative tightening, goodbye to yen. Those guys in suits, layoffs galore. New York exodus out the back door. 52% inequities, hold tight. Bitcoin leaves diamond hands overnight. Credit scores dipping, they knew the game before the mayor's announcement. Shame. 3 stages of submission, red apple rot. Learning how to preach, forget what you're taught. When the mask comes off, it needs more cash. Wi-Fi and memes, freedom's last flash. Keeping our rights, but fleeing south. American flags come down, shut your mouth, the cars explode. Who loves Jersey now? Time to convert, just show me how. Shame is the name of the game, they say. Friends with billionaires pave the way. Entering every home, feeling hands. The new Europeans re-roll the land. Taxing Bitcoin, who cares for God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
All right, that was Tinfoil Hat to Retirement. Now, I'm actually late with this video just by one day because since the last time I posted a video, we've actually had 2 typhoons go through. One typhoon was actually Sunday night, the day that I released last week's video, and that one went right over Leyte. So definitely that was a strong storm. Then just last night and the day before, and that night we had a super typhoon move towards Manila, but we're definitely was in the bands of the rain and the wind. Not as bad as the first one that went through, but definitely another typhoon nonetheless. So if you are thinking about moving to the Philippines, of course, you're going to have that nice sunny weather. Matter of fact, if you ride the motorbike out, your legs and arms will definitely crisp. But be prepared too that it has not only typhoons, but also earthquakes. So definitely be prepared. Philippines is one of the harshest environments on planet Earth, but it can also be a great enjoy. And if you can adapt and overcome, then maybe the Philippines is an all right place. All right, so now with the house build, since the typhoons were going on, of course, we want to release the workers back home so they can take care of their property, be prepared to do what they need to do for their yards. So things were done in the yard. It's just we're still trying to work a few things out at a time. So also just to mention, on the inside, the typhoons were so strong that the wind actually pushed water through the windows. I think 2 of the weakest things in a house in the Philippines is definitely the roof area. So when you have a roof, they'll put trusses on, but usually the trusses will then have a tin layer over them along with your insulation. The insulation isn't like America. It's just the insulation is almost like the kind of insulation that you put on for your car, which is a sun shield. So that is pretty much the type of material that your insulation is. What I did with my roof is I actually made it inside the wall. So the upper wall of the roof it's recessed. The roof is recessed where it's below the line of the wall. So a lot of houses that you see in the Philippines, and I'll just do a quick look over here. When you look at the houses of the Philippines, see, they make them angled and out over the house. Well, wind gets a hold of that and it blows off the roofs. Matter of fact, a lot of that sheeting material during the first typhoon actually came off, and the very next morning everybody was out there hammering away, putting the sheet metal back onto their roofs. So yes, everything is like that. I mean, if you look down there below the hill, that house too, I mean, it's just one of those things that takes place in a typhoon. And I'll even show my neighbor's yard. They had a wooden fence. The wind totally knocked that wooden fence down, and they ended up putting a metal sheeted fence back up. What else happened during that typhoon? Our closest neighbors, our surrounding neighbors, lost power for 2 days. And if you go down the street a little bit, those neighbors actually lost 5 days worth of electricity. So imagine, take into consideration, when the power goes out, how are you going to generate electricity? Is it through solar? Is it through a generator? If you use a generator, you're going to have to purchase gasoline or propane or whatever that generator is working on here. So again, we had a 12 kilowatt solar system, and for the power outages and with the 2 batteries that we have, it was sufficient to sustain electricity during the brownouts and during the typhoon weather. So, all right, with that being said, let's get into some of the things here. Again, more vegetation. I tell you, the Philippines is definitely full of greenery. That plant there definitely blew down during the typhoon, so we got to retie everything back to the stake. I haven't noticed any damages underneath, which is good. I was surprised that the wind didn't blow anything underneath out, which that is good. We'll also go upstairs and do a check on the solar panels, just to see if they survived 2 typhoons. I know when the typhoon was going, we had winds up to 185. We had winds up to 185 kilometers per hour, so a lot of the items were all blown to the back of the house. But before we get into that, let's move forward up to the front of the house here. Since today is Monday, one of our workers is already here. They usually start at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to get out here earlier, but he's a good worker and actually showed up. To be early is to be on time is to be late, and to be late, there is no excuse. So he's doing really good. One of the things too that I noticed about the typhoon, this area, the Lanai area, was almost the safest spot to be in. No wind or anything came in this direction. I mean, I thought for sure those wood pieces of those beds and the wood would just be blown all around, but actually they stayed intact and up there and hardly any wind. I know the dogs came up there to take a look, and they pretty much stayed there as well. So this seems to be the good area to be in the event of a typhoon, if you're in the outside area and you can't get into the inside. But see, these little sheet metal pieces right here, like those over here, like we had all that tied down, wood pieces, metal, but in the back we actually had a stack of metal frames, and I tell you, that wind picked these things up and just flew them right back to the back of the house. So yeah, that was definitely interesting. You can hear that. It definitely would wake you up in the middle of the night. All right, so in the front of the house here, basically our wall is still being done here. That is our new dog right there, that white one, but he is a scaredy cat. He's still walking around the yard and getting used to everything, especially in an enclosed area. And then that dog, he just doesn't care about anything. All right, so again, our color scheme was to try and have, again, we got the gray posting, we got a white wall, and we're going to have the bars all painted black. So we're going to have a gray, white, black color scheme here in the front. So that is our scheme right now. So since the typhoons moved in, we weren't able to get all the metal painted, but at least this, as a matter of fact, the painter was symmetrical, so the outside looks just like the inside right now, and we are still working on that. So that was the things that they were working on for this past week, trying to get this. Also, they put the Rust-Oleum on this staircase. So see, now it's trying to prevent the rust. Rust was actually starting to set in on the staircase, but they put some new layers of Rust-Oleum on it, and this staircase will be painted black like the gates on the front area there. So we'll go up front here. All right, so now we're finally moving up. The painter wasn't able to get to this column yet because he's working on the front. Maybe he'll get to it when he starts painting the stairs. Just to show you some of the damage that was done, a lot of the trees were all knocked down over there. A lot of trees were, the metal fence right there. You can see all the grass and everything. Matter of fact, the wind is still blowing just a little bit. Let's take a look at the solar panels just to see how they've stayed intact. So you can see the solar panels and how they're stacking. No damage. Even our Elon Musk Starlink hasn't fallen yet. It's still attached to the roof. And that was one of the things, I don't know if I showed, or I know I did a post once of the base of the Starlink. I actually got the idea from Wilma and Greg video channel. They showed a metal plate, how they had actually welded their Starlink base into a metal plate and attached the metal plate to the roof. So I made some modifications to that plate. Instead of making it a solid plate, I actually just created a frame for the base and then attached the frame to the house. So that seems to be doing pretty well. And again, this roof, like I said, is basically a tin roof that is over trusses, and they make it so that water runs down, goes to that back wall there, and then that's where the drainage system is. So that goes to that orange piping that goes down below on the ground, and then the piping goes out of the wall. So that drains all the water from everything. So everything seems to be good in that aspect. But yes, definitely a lot of trees were blown down, blown over, cut. A lot of metal roofing. Everything was done here with the typhoon. So that's basically everything that has transpired this week, because it was a short week due to the 2 typhoons. But at least our workers have come back today, or at least one of them does, to do some general cleaning around here and to get anything done. Probably start working on some of the painting, or definitely we need to again do some yard work. So all of that is taking place. And there's my dog there. He likes going up these steps. See, there he goes, going up the steps. He likes going up there. Sometimes he'll sit up there. See, look at him just sit at the top to watch the cars go by. So that's become his new favorite spot, to climb the stairs and also watch the traffic go by. Pretty interesting what he does. See, it's the little things of retirement that are really enjoyable in life, when you can get away from all the political stuff that takes place in the countries. I feel sorry for England. England seems to be falling behind on what they need to do in order to get their immigration problems under button there. But America has taken the necessary steps, I think. They just need to keep plugging away. However, again, that is the plan. More and more political positions in the United States. But if you're ready to retire, if you're ready to get away from all of that nonsense, go to a place that treats both you and your money well, then by all means, pick a spot. Get out of there while you still can. I usually try to preach early retirement, because I think when you don't depend on the government for your sources of financial gain, you actually wind up doing better. So I always say, and I don't know, I'm going to plug another video channel that I normally watch. It's called Johnny Bravo. He's got an economical channel that I listen to. He calls it his doom and gloom channel. But definitely someone to watch concerning the economy of the United States. So that's always good to watch and get a little bit more knowledge of. Okay, so we are. So Again, this was the area that everything, all that sheet metal and everything just blew back in here. This was sort of interesting as well. We had this tarp was actually tied to those wooden posts there, but after the typhoon, I mean, this tarp blew, the table was knocked over, so it's already been, they cleaned up after the first typhoon, but definitely stuff was flying. So yes, so they are doing some groundwork back here, which is good. So they're going to level this back part out, and then this CR, comfort room station, is going to be torn down, and then a storage shed is going to be built here in this place here, so storage area. That's why the ground is going to be leveled there. One thing also the typhoon did was it completely blew off the lid to the water tank. I don't know if they shut off the water, but our tank ended up being completely empty, and of course that was our opportunity because there was dirt and sand on the bottom of the tank. It doesn't matter how clean you try to keep the tank, even with chlorine tabs, sediment will still get in those tanks. So you have to drain the tank and get the dirt out, refill the tank. That water gets shot up to that tank up there, and then that tank sends everything back down. So that is what's taking place back there. All right. So we'll go back this way. Again, we still have all the drainage systems. They are working. It's just, again, this will all be buried eventually one day. The painting of the house is complete. We're still working on the painting of the fence, painting of the staircase, and then I can finally call it a complete job, even though there's still little things that is still not complete, but it's complete for what we need it to be. I mean, again, this wall has to be rendered, otherwise one good earthquake comes by and the wall will eventually crumble if you don't render it and you don't paint it and you don't take care of the wall. The wall, our entire wall, needs to be like it is in the front. So it needs to be rendered and it needs to be painted. So that's what we're doing. See, eventually, like even this post right here, this post is sort of in between what it needs to be. Give you an example here. So when they go to render, they put these marks in the wall like this, and then they render, which gives you something that looks like this, and then that gets smoothed out, so sort of like this right here, and then it gets painted, and then does the color scheme and everything. Another thing that happened over the week, now we bought this land about 5 years ago, and our neighbors that are over on the other side, they bought the land also 5 years ago, but they haven't started their house, but they did come out and start clearing their yard, so eventually they will be here soon, and we got a chance to meet them. They were a very nice couple, and they are clearing everything out of that portion of the yard over there. So they're clearing everything out, and eventually they'll start building their house. And we told them to build upon that wall right here. So we told them to build on top of this wall. It's usually better if you share a wall, because if they build a separate wall, then of course it's going to be a gap. Grass will grow, snakes will get in, you won't be able to cut the grass. So definitely we try to encourage them to build on our wall or have a shared wall. And they said, of course, they would think about it. So who knows when they'll actually move into the location. But other than that, we'll just keep being posted of what their plans are in the future. All right, so thank you for joining Arizona Trails, the Philippine Tales for week number 93 of the Philippine House Build. Again, my name is Steve, and you have a great and safe day. Bye-bye.